In this video, we're going to look at the top 5 most common questions that are asked in sales associate interviews. I'm going to help you plan fantastic answers that will land you the job. Let's start with the first question, which is how would you manage a difficult customer? And this is a question that is very, very likely to come up, so make sure you've planned it out. So the first thing you're going to talk about is talk about de-escalation, and make sure you get that keyword in there. So de-escalation means calming the customer down and getting the situation under control. So you're going to also mention that you don't argue back with the customer, you don't ever raise your voice, and you don't want to show any body language that is argumentative or defensive. You want to be calm and professional at all times. You're then going to talk about the fact that you're always looking for a solution and that you are solution focused. You're going to solve this customer's problem to the best of your ability. And the way you're going to do it is you're going to first start by listening to the customer. If they're angry and irate over something, the number one thing that they're usually wanting is that you're actually going to listen. They want to feel like they're being listened to. While you're listening to them, you're going to be actively listening. That means you're going to be trying to identify exactly what the customer's issues are, and you're going to resolve those. So you're going to find the problem and you're going to try and solve it. And that'll make the customer turn from a difficult customer into a customer that's had a great experience with the brand. And the last thing you're going to make sure that you talk about is that you're always going to follow the company's policy. So if the customer can't have a refund, because the policy says they can't, that's what you're going to do. But you're going to do it in a very respectful and professional manner. So if you get those 3 points in your answer, you'll do really well on this question. So let's look at the second question. What hours are you able to work? And this question is notoriously answered very, very badly. So I've given you the 3 things that they're looking for. They want people that are flexible, they want people that show a dedication to their job, and they want people that are reliable and are going to be there when they need them. And if you can demonstrate those 3 things in the answer you give, your chance of getting the job goes up a lot. If you say anything that contradicts any of those 3, like I don't like working these days and I can't do weekends, that's going to tank your chance of getting the job. So what do they really want to hear? Well, basically they love to hear these things. If you can work evenings, that's a difficult time to staff, so really get that in there. Late openings, so if the place that you're applying as a sales associate opens very late, they're slightly more difficult times to staff. If you can work weekends, that's really great to get in. Holidays, so for example, if you don't have children and you've got the capacity to work school holidays, that's great. If you do have children, what to do is just don't mention it. Don't say you can't do anything. They're really looking for people that say yes. And so if you can try and answer everything in the positive, so don't start by giving a list of all the times you can't work. That's a great way to do badly on this question. So stick with the positives and mention as many of those things as you can and show those 3 things, and you'll do really, really well on this question. Let's move on to question 3. Why do you want to work for our company? And with this video, I'm not particularizing to one company. So to make it general, and this applies to any company, you want to link working at the company to your personal interest. Show there's some compelling reason why you want to be helping sell that company's products, that you actually, one, like the company's products. So that's what I mean by brand affinity. So talk about positive experiences with the brand. Perhaps you own certain items made by that brand. That's a great thing to get in. And also look at what development the company offers you. Is there routes of progression? Is there training programs? And talk about those. That's really great. So things that they love to hear is they love to hear people that have done lots of research. You want to know the brand inside out. You want to know all of their products. You want to know a bit about their history. So really do your research. I would recommend write down about 5 facts about the company that you're going to get in at some point in the interview. You can read the company's mission statement, and if you know that, that's a really great thing to mention. A lot of companies talk about their corporate values, so you can always bring that in. That's a great thing to mention. Link why you want to work there to the things that you're good at. This is an opportunity for you to talk about your skills and sell yourself. So really talk about all the skills that you've got. For example, if you've worked in customer service before and you really enjoyed it, talk about that. Talk about the fact that you love working with customers, and that's why you want to be a sales associate. And working with customers is something that's, you know, happens a lot within this role. So you can link all that together and definitely talk about why you actually would love working in that job. because they want people that are enthusiastic and passionate about what they do. So if you get as many of those things in as you can, you're going to do well in this question. And it is extremely likely that this one comes up. So I would recommend you plan out an answer to this. Let's look at question 4. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And this is a really easy question to answer well and a very easy question to answer badly. So I'm going to show you the way to answer it well. The first thing you're going to talk about is development, and you're going to link that to what the company is actually going to offer you. So look at the training programs that your company can provide and talk about how you are going to take advantage of those to help you achieve your plan, and talk about some sort of plan. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but you want some kind of idea that, in 5 years' time, I'm looking to either be exceptional in your current role, so be an amazing sales associate, or that hopefully in 5 years you're looking to, take a management route and you're going to earn the next step up. And the way to answer it badly, and you have to absolutely avoid this, is coming across as arrogant. So saying in 5 years' time, I'm going to do all these amazing things and they're just going to come to me because I deserve it, is not the right way. So don't talk about an expectation of a promotion. In 5 years' time, I see myself being a store manager. No, you want to talk about in 5 years' time, I see myself developing, picking up all these skills, working with other people, taking the opportunities that the company gives and showing that I'm really amazing in this role, improving myself so that I'll be in a position in 5 years' time to have a strong case to present that I've worked really hard. And if there's promotion opportunities available, I've worked really hard, and hopefully you'll be able to move into that role. The absolute worst thing to talk about is leaving the industry. Talking about being a sales associate is something you're going to do for a couple of months until you get a better job. That's really not the thing to bring up in your interview, because you're just saying to them, they've invested in this whole round of recruitment, they've interviewed loads of people, they've given you the job, and you're going to leave 5 minutes later and they're going to have to start all over again. Hiring managers want to have an easy life. So if they can hire people and they stick around, less work for the hiring manager. So definitely don't mention leaving. And lastly, the classic sales question, which is sell me this pen. And it's not necessarily going to be the pen, because it's probably going to be something to do with the product that the company sells. So really make sure you know your stuff. And I've given you a basic pie chart that is the elements that they're wanting to see in your answer. So you want to see some enthusiasm. So you ought to be really passionate and friendly and come across as actually really genuinely interested in the product. You want to show that you're, thinking about the customer's needs. You're asking questions. What is your previous experience with a pen? How does, a pen fit into your everyday life? What issues have you had with pens in the past? You want to really get the kind of idea. You want to be adaptive. So whenever the interviewer says something, you want to be replying to it, solving their problem, and actively listening to what they're saying. So they're assessing your listening skills. You want to be, of course, come across as friendly, someone that's trustworthy. And another thing you also want to make sure you get in towards the end is that you make some sort of attempt to close the sale. For example, you ask for some contact details, or you start talking about price. You want to have some attempt at actually closing and clinching that deal. Because if you can't close a sale, well, you're not really selling anything, are you? You're just discussing the product, which is not the point of being a salesperson. And the process that I talk about going through, and when you're giving your answer, just work through this systematically. So first, pitch the product. Very brief pitch. This is the advantages of the pen. This is why I love the pen. This is why I use the pen. Here's all the great features. The second step is to listen to what the other person has to say. What issues have they had with pens in the past? What are they looking for? And you may put in some questions to really get a great understanding of the customer's needs. The third step is to respond to the issues, and it's a two-way dialogue. You're looking at, these are the issues that the customer has identified. Here's how the pen solves these problems. For example, they might say, I hate using a pen because when you write with it, you can't get rid of it. It's stuck there. I prefer using a pencil. And you can go, yes, I understand. I've had that problem. However, we have a range of pens that are designed a very specific way where they actually have a rubber on it. So you get the advantages of writing with a pen, but it can actually be rubbed out. So there's a way where you're addressing the customer's problems and you're getting that step closer to a sale. Last thing, and the most important, is make sure you try and close the deal at the end. So follow that 4-step process and get all of the pie chart in, and you'll nail the kind of sell me this pen type questions. So hopefully this video has been very helpful to you, and best of luck with your sales associate interview. Thank you very much for watching.